All right, hello everybody. It's the Spookies here, and we are really excited because we have all of this amazing fan mail to go through today. So let's go around and just introduce ourselves quickly. And if you don't know about us, the Spooky MG crew, we are a group of about, how many are we now, you guys? 12, 14?
I actually don't know. It keeps growing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so we have like 12 to 15 spooky middle grade authors from all across the country, and we've teamed up. We have a website, spookymiddlegrade.com, and we're just kicking off our YouTube channel with some really fun videos. And today we're answering fan mail from students at Adams Elementary. That's all the way out in Spokane Valley, Washington. So yeah, I know it's far away. I actually got to visit there earlier last year. So I was there.
Oh, really?
I was there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, they did a little mini nerd camp thing. So that was really
cool.
fun.
Oh,
Awesome.
But anyway, let's go around. Let's say like who we are, what we wrote, and like where we are located so people can just get an idea of our different locations. So I'll go ahead and start. I'm Kim Ventrella, author of these books, Skeleton Tree and Bone Hollow, coming out February. And I am over here in Oklahoma City. It is weirdly snowing today. That is so rare for us over here.
Nice.
Yeah. So who's next?
I'll go. I'm Pat Moody. I'm the author of The Gravedigger's Son. I am in Connecticut, right outside New Haven, and it is surprisingly almost like 60 degrees here. So it's very bizarre, but I like it.
All right, I'll go. I'm David Neilsen, and I'm the author of Dr. Fell, The Playground of Doom, and Beyond the Doors. And I'm located in Tarrytown, New York, right next to Sleepy Hollow, which is where I get all the inspiration.
Ooh.
I lagged out. Is it my turn?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry. My name, I am S.A. Larsen, and you can call me Sherry. I am the author of this book, Motley Education, and I am way up by Canada in the state of Maine, and it is an extremely snowy day today. It's like 8 degrees, and they still had school, which was very strange, but I thought they'd get canceled, but they didn't.
Wow. It's not that cold up here, for sure, for sure. Okay, well, let's get started. Let's look through some of this awesome fan mail. So what happened is that we do these free Skypes, and we Skype with classrooms like all across the country, and we Skyped with a bunch of classes at Adams Elementary. So their librarian, Mrs. Druffel, was nice enough to put together all of these fan letters that they sent us after the fact. And kind of go through some and just like look at our favorites and then answer some questions too. So I don't know about you guys, but I got a lot of really cool ones that kind of work like this. So here you go. It's a normal monster face, right? Nope. So I got like a bunch of cool ones like that. I don't know like what art projects students are doing, but they're pretty amazing. Did you guys have any cool like art that you received or anything?
I had monstrous things too. This one, I like this one. Isn't it cool? That's so cool.
That is cool.
That's from Sierra.
Yeah, I actually got one of my hedgehog. My hedgehog got most of the fan mail. So here's him. He's pretty scary looking.
Oh!
He's a monster hedgehog.
Yeah.
Well, I actually got one somewhere. So of course I got skeletons. So I got several of the skeleton. Whoa!
Wow.
You know, but I got one that I feel like, so she does mention my book, but then I feel like this should really be for Jonathan because I got like a really
the bunny.
Oh, nice.
Whoa. And there's like something, oh, it's a carrot. There's like an anthropomorphic carrot.
Oh my God.
Pretty
Makes it
ingenious.
even more scary.
Yeah, so that's pretty scary. I thought I had like a random hedgehog in here, but I couldn't find it. Like I feel like I got one of yours, but I don't know what it is now. So yeah, I got some like self-portraits. So this is Elizabeth, aka me. So that was pretty cool.
Hello, me.
I know.
Awesome.
Exactly what Elizabeth looks like now. Love it. Oh yeah, lots of trees, lots of little skeleton trees, and little baby finger bones, which are pretty cool.
Ooh, creepy.
I know, that was fun. But we did have some questions that came in, so let's have a look. So here's one. This is from Ashley, and she wants to know, what is your favorite chapter of your book and why? What? That's a hard one. So I'm like,
wow.
I'm like, I'm gonna have to get out my book and be like, let's see.
Yeah.
You gotta dig in. Well, I love my favorite chapter that I wrote is the one where we find out all about Snape's life after he's. Oh wait, that's not me.
No.
That was a great chapter, though.
It was.
Always, yeah, so good. Well, I will say, I don't remember what chapter it is, but there is a chapter when the skeleton is doing like shadow puppets on the wall. And that's one of my favorite chapters because like Stanley, so the skeleton has gone missing and he sees the skeleton looming over his little sister's bed. And he's like, oh my gosh, she's evil. But then it ends up that he's just doing shadow puppets. So that kind of like sums up a lot of the story. Like, right there.
I think my favorite chapter in Dr. Fell, I was just looking at it, get the title of it correctly, which is The Exorcism of Dr. Fell, because I get to describe an exorcism in my little middle grade book. This is when the first girl has been under his spell, and her friends have to like try all these different ways to get rid of him. At one point, they tie her to a chair and turn the chair upside down and try to shake him out of her. Yeah, that was just a lot of fun to write.
That's awesome.
Wow, man.
I think my favorite chapter from The Gravedigger's Son is also, it's a little similar to yours, Kim, because it involves a skeleton. It's after the main character, Ian, is trying to test out his powers to resurrect this little boy who is just a skeleton. It doesn't work, or at least he thinks it doesn't work. And then the chapter starts out where he's in his bed and somebody's tapping him on the shoulder. And it's the skeleton standing at the
cool.
foot of his bed. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. I always love
like,
to those skeletons tapping my shoulder, you know?
Yeah.
My favorite.
I don't have skeletons sticking out of the ground, but one of my favorite chapters is when Ebony goes to the boneyard and she's going to try and fix this problem by herself. And so she takes the grimoire, and she's not supposed to, and she does all this stuff, these shavings of the stick that she has, that's her school project or whatever. And lo and behold, a fire giant shows up and chases her through the boneyard, and it makes the ground spit up a bunch of coffins.
Oh.
And yeah, she gets in like big trouble, and then everybody blames her for that, saying she was doing something, magic, and she wasn't supposed to. But ultimately, it was the fire giant. And I just like,
it's always the
great.
fire giant.
Man, I love boneyard too. I never call it a boneyard, but that's like, why not? That's
I know.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna start using boneyard now. I love it. Okay, well, let's see. So that one was from Ashley, and she drew a beautiful flower on there.
Oh,
nice.
Gorgeous.
That was very nice. And this one, so she has a lot of questions. This is from Cameron. Again, a very, friendly looking fellow there, but dun dun.
no!
Yeah.
Not so friendly. And so, first of all, she wants to know about our pets. What are our pets' names? And what can we tell her about our pets? She's very interested.
Well, go ahead, Sherry.
Well, for me, I have 3 cats. Maybe I should go in the order we got the animals. We have a little, I don't know if you can see her. She's behind me. You can't. She's sunk on the couch. But she's a Bishopoo. She's pot Bichon Frise pot poodle. So she's just this little thing. She's actually 14 years old. So she's really old, but she's still pretty spunky. And we got her because my 4th child ended up being a boy, and my 3rd child is a girl, and she wanted a sister so bad and was just absolutely just wanted to send him back. Why can't I get a sister? So we brought her a female dog. And then we have 3 cats. We have Chloe, Molly, and Bauer. Bauer is, we're a hockey family. And then we have, she's actually eating her foot right now. We have the new German Shepherd puppy who's 14 weeks old, and she's quiet, so we'll leave her there. Her name's Sadie.
Okay.
So,
Well, I'll go ahead. We have 2 cats, a calico cat named Violet, and then a black cat named Loki, who is a bundle of energy, very loud. The only reason you don't hear him now is because he's not in this room. In fact, I think we let him out. He'll go to the door. He wants to come out. He'll like stand right at the door and go, meow, meow, and wait for one of us to let him in. And then he'll be out for a while. Like I sit sometimes in the living room on the couch, like with the window behind me, and he'll come up on the chair outside the window and like pound on the window and go, meow, let me in, meow. That's Loki.
there you go. Very polite. And evil. Totally evil.
Mm-hmm.
I have 3 cats. I have Lily. She is 17. She's a little old lady. I have Namiria, who is a black cat. She's the middle child. She's very calm. And then we have the baby, Zelda, who is just about to turn 2, and she is just wild. I had to lock her out of the room today.
Is one of them in your lap right now?
The one that's in my lap is the spiky guy, Wicket, my little hedgehog, and he is 2 years old, so he's a middle-aged man right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love his name. I never noticed his name before. Wicket.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's great.
so cute. Well, so I have a dog, and she is afraid of the camera. She's afraid of everything, like people. I have so many stories. Like when I first got her, I had to carry her outside, and she's like about 50 pounds, and she would see like someone in the window of their house, like 200 yards away, and she would get so frightened that she would like race back to our door and just like wait to go inside. She's like terrified. So she's over that now, but she's still scared of the camera. But she gets so excited every time I Skype. I don't know why. And then she just goes to sleep. But there she is.
Hi.
She's very. She's like Dobby. Like if Dobby and Bambi had a baby, that's. So yeah, she's named Hera after the Greek goddess. And that was just her shelter name. I think they're just going through the list of like gods and goddesses.
Right.
So that is my dog. And let's see, Cameron also has many other questions for us. Are you married? Do you have any kids? Is number 2. I have a kid. I just showed you my kid. She's a dog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have a little spiky son.
I have 2 human children.
What?
So I know, crazy. They're in 8th grade and 10th grade, so it's freaking me out.
What are these human children you speak?
I don't know. The cats are a lot cuter.
Yeah. And they're easy. They're easy to deal with too.
Yes.
I got 4 of those humanoids myself. So
The humanoids.
And yes, I am married.
Okay.
I'm not married. I just got the kids. I found them in the store. There was a sale, 2 for 1. No.
Well, that makes sense. Let's see. How many books have you written and or published? And that's all she had. So how many books have you written and or published?
I think I've written probably 5 and published 1, which seems to be the average. I think a lot of practice books,
right,
before I hit that magical one. So, yeah,
yeah.
I have a deep, dark trunk full of all of the terrible books I've written. And I feel like, I don't know how many. I feel like there's like way more than 5, like 10 minimum in there. Like I have so many, like so many. Published 2, and 2 are like secretly forthcoming, but nobody knows how that's a secret. And that's it.
Oh no, go ahead, Dave.
All right. Similar to Pat, I'm a mixture. I'm a between Pat and Kim because I've written 5 and I've published 2. the second and third were published. So I had one practice, as it were. I have the two, and now it's like trying to find other people to buy the other two as we're writing on more.
I think technically completed manuscripts, I want to say 6. Like, kind of like Kim, I may have had, I don't know, a good 4 to 5 that are just 3/4 of the way done, or I halfway done, or whatever. I think it was, I got the third one published first, and then it ended up being the first one that I wrote published second. So I have 2 books that are published, and like Kim, I have a third one that's like secretly not announced yet.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Love to be in that position.
Love it. Okay, we have Deja. So Deja has a really cool thing with the monsters once again.
I sensing a theme.
Those are awesome.
I know. I like this one especially. It's like a planet Earth unicorn monster.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Wow. Anyway, so she has a question. It's kind of similar to the one we had about the favorite chapter, but what is your favorite part of your book is her question. So do you have a favorite part of your book?
I do. I do have a favorite part that is not that chapter particular. It's just a moment. And it's a moment in Dr. Fell nearing the end, actually, where the kids are in the dungeon. I'm saying this as if you've all read it, you know what I'm talking about. No, they're in a dungeon and they're walking towards something. And this sort of this half, almost not even part of the plot, where they turn and look and they see a pile of injury and pain. And I don't describe what that looks like. And what was really great for me was when my editor saw that, she's like, you should, what does that look like? I said, well, everyone's going to see, at one point they see death. What does that look like? It's going to look different for everyone. And they let me keep that finally in there. I'm really proud of that because I think that's just a really cool, creepy vibe.
Yeah, that's awesome. Leave it to the imagination.
Yep.
I'm just picturing like a bunch of like twitching severed limbs or something.
Yeah, that's a good one. Anyone else?
I think my favorite part of the book is his mother is in a mausoleum in the middle of this lake. And his whole life, he's always wanted to take the rowboat and go out there and visit her. And towards the end of the book, he needs to, because he needs to resurrect her. So while he's rowing out there, these sort of like shadow demons keep taunting him and trying to get him to turn around and go back. And at one point, he just like really freaks out at them and says, "No, I have to do this." And he starts swiping at him with the oars. And it's like really when you see him take matters into his own hands and face his fears. Yeah, I really like that part. Yeah.
For me, I think one of my favorite parts is close to the end. Ebony, the main character, she's really headstrong, and she like doesn't always follow the rules. She's willing to take risks and whatever. And her best friend, her sidekick, is Fleischman, who's totally kind of the bookworm who just follows all the rules and doesn't deviate. And at the end of the book, he actually takes a chance. She convinces him. She talks to him. He wants her to trust him. And she's finally like, but that's a two-way street. Just believe that I believe that you can do this. And he does it. And I don't want to give it away because it's a big part at the end. But it was nice to see a secondary character really grow
Step
like
up,
that.
yeah.
And to see how the main character reacted to it. She was like so proud of him. And it was kind of cool.
Very cool.
That's cool. I know. I'm trying to think. Well, I do. The shadow puppet thing really is one of my favorite parts, but I always love the ending when everything comes together. There's this one moment in the end where Stanley, it's like he's gone through this whole thing, and he's kind of come out the other side, and then they've moved to Florida, and he's walking on the beach, and he sees something poking up out of the sand, and he thinks that maybe it is another bone, like maybe it's all going to start over again.
Cool.
And like that's one of my kind of favorite moments. And he's like,
nice.
Is it? Isn't it? So
and now you've told us that he survived, so you've ruined the book.
Spoiler.
That kind of I think there's no doubt that like Stanley is gonna.
Would you guys think you could ever get away with a middle grade book where the main character doesn't survive?
Hello. No.
Yeah.
Well, I don't mean they don't. Well, I haven't read that because it's not out yet. But I don't know if they don't survive and then come back as something else. I mean, like they're gone.
They're gone. They're gone. No,
Oh
he's
wow.
not gone, but he does die like in the first chapter, which you know about. But yeah, he's not gone. He's
Yeah. No, I'm thinking about something where like you actually kill the main character at the end.
Yeah, I don't know.
Be interesting, but challenge to find a way to do that it doesn't like become too dark.
Yeah.
Because killing your main character, that's not dark.
No, not at
No
all.
way.
no, of course not. I mean, I may not be a great judge of what is and isn't considered dark, but you know, I think it's fine.
Yeah, try it out, David. You could lead the charge on that.
Well, I do actually. My second book, I don't have a character who dies, but I do have a character who doesn't get. It's not the main. It's a major secondary character, but he doesn't get free, as it were, as you are hoping the whole book he will. He is sort of doomed, and he's a good character that you like. But it's still kind of done in a bittersweet way. It's not done in a negative way, but it's different. Killing someone, I may have to try that.
Yeah.
Yes. Interesting. Should try that.
Yeah, give it a whirl.
Yeah, go for it, man.
In the book.
Yeah, in a book.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, or whatever, you know.
We're opposed to murder over at
Yes.
speaking.com.
Yes, we are.
Let's do it. Okay, well, does anybody have like a final letter or just some thoughts about getting fan mail that you want to share? This is my favorite one. So I think I started out with it in the beginning, but let's see. This is from Sammy, and she just has like the best sentence in here. She says, I love how the mom was hopeful, but you could feel her sadness. I'm like, are you me?
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's great.
That would have been me. I would be like, I love this book because it's so sad to me. So yeah, I love that. Like I can feel her sad. Favorite part. What about
I mean, this is fun. I love getting the fan mail from the kids and stuff after we do Skypes and stuff. So I would, anyone watching this, I think definitely you have your kids write in some stuff because then we'll put them on the air.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
They'll be famous. All of their artwork will be famous.
Yeah. It's so cool seeing how talented they all are.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's just it's amazing. I have one letter here. It's not a question, but I did want to respond to it. It's from Etheria, which is a very cool name. She said, "Dear Patrick, I love your hedgehog. Never read your book, but it looks spooky. My brother has it, but he won't let me read it. I hope I have an opportunity to read it." So I just want to say to Etheria's brother, please let her read it, because it sounds like she wants to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, that is hilarious. Yeah, I had some funny ones here. Oh, here's a funny one. So it's like a fairly long letter, and she goes on talking about she wants to read our books, but she's like, I don't have a whole lot of time because I'm in the library writing this, so I'm sorry that I don't write a lot. A book series that I am reading right now is Babysitter's Club. Sorry, but you didn't write it.
Yeah. In case you didn't know.
In case you didn't know.
Right.
You did not write that one. So
That's why I'm not getting royalties.
Yeah.
I know. It all makes sense now. Let's see. We have Peter. Peter says that he really wants to read all of our books. So
Yay.
that is really, really nice. Oh, let's see. So many good ones. Too many. I know.
I have one that I just like to share with you. Sometimes some of the things that they write, I don't know why it's surprising because they're all so intelligent, but this is from Gage, and he just makes a statement about that he thanks us that we took the time out of our busy day to spend with them. And I was like, oh,
yeah.
Just that, they get it. And that is so cool. And I love that he shared that,
Yeah.
With us.
Literally, no, we're not busy at all. We just sit around.
Yeah.
But it's nice that they think so.
This one, and inside it says, Dear S.A. Larsen, says, thank you for Skyping with us. I'm looking forward to reading your book. I think you're a great writer. Unconditional acceptance right there.
Nah.
Or maybe she's just saying, I think, but we'll find out. I'll let you know.
Hope we can Skype again soon. That's from Kiara.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay, well, I can't find it, but there was one letter I had that said they were like so excited about our books that they like rushed to the library, but the library was closed, and so they couldn't go.
Oh no.
That was a really good one. But I found like another question that I missed. And let's see, this one, it doesn't say who it's from, but we know that her favorite animal is a mermaid. And she wants to know, what is our favorite animal? And also, I can color the mermaid, so I'll have to color that in. Animal. Mythical or real, I guess.
Oh, my favorite animal, it's going to be strange, and there's a strange reason for it. It's a frog. When I was a kid, I was in the hospital, and my grandparents got me this stuffed frog. And I named it, very authentic, Froggy Doggy. And I
Like
seriously, I still had that frog like on my wedding day.
Oh, that's sweet.
It didn't make it through my kids, though. I don't know where he is now, so.
I still have a stuffed walrus I got when I was 5. One of his tusks is pretty beaten up from being sucked on for many years. And I accidentally burned a hole in the top of his head in college, but he's wearing a hat now. But I still have him. But I don't know if it's my favorite animal. It's my favorite stuffed animal.
I like that you brought him to college with you.
Oh yeah, he was
That's
in my
cool.
dorm. Chicks dug it.
Nice. Very cool. I think my favorite real animal is an otter. I don't know why. I just think they're so cute. And every time I'm at a zoo, I just love to watch them because it seems like they have pretty much like the best life ever. They just get to swim and just, lounge around on rocks all day, which is, pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And my favorite fictitious animal is probably a mogwai. I always wanted one. Like a little like Gizmo from Gremlins. I love him.
Oh, cool.
Nice. Well, I think I did have a favorite stuffed animal. When I was little, it was this koala bear, and I totally barfed on it. And so now it's like been washed and it has that that happens after you clean barf off of a stuffed animal. So
Yeah.
I still have it somewhere, like in a box. And my favorite real animal, of course, my dog. Also, my other favorite would be like crows. I just think crows are like really cool, and like they can travel between worlds, right? The mythology of them, they're always like close to death, and they can do creepy things. So they're my favorite, of course.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And maybe, okay, last one that I have to share is this one from Tatiana. And it's really, really cool because actually I think she has like the coolest handwriting I've ever seen. I don't know if you can see her little curlies and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Right? But she like apologizes for her handwriting. She's like, I'm very sorry about my handwriting, but it's amazing. So Tatiana, come on, keep it up. You got great handwriting. And she says, she wants to check out all of our books, but a lot of people want to read them.
Yeah.
Good.
We'll get them soon.
Well, if they can't check it out, they can go purchase them online or have their parents purchase them or go to a bookstore and you can, or you go to a library.
And we have a new thing on our website right now.
Right.
.com. They can actually order signed books. So
Yes.
how was that? Signed by us. We'll put our own cool artwork in there maybe. So you might have some cool little drawings from us. And also, if you buy our books, so if we Skype with your class and then you buy our books, we will send you signed bookmarks too, or book plates or something of that ilk, which will be really, really cool. So check that out. And just thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for all of these. We're just like, I feel like Scrooge McDuck. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it's amazing. I opened up the big envelope and they all just like spilled out, and I was just like, yes, I love it.
Yes.
I forgot to share this one. I just think the drawing's good.
Yeah.
And it's a ghost, and it says "Boo Books" on the other book.
That's neat. I love it so much. Well, thank you guys for joining me today. Oh yeah, I forgot this one. Check this artwork out, you guys.
That's
really good. That's
wow.
really good.
cool. Love it. Angelic cat going on there. So anyway, thanks for joining me to read some of this awesome fan mail. And hopefully, if you're watching this at a later date and you're a teacher or librarian, just know that we would love to Skype with your class. And we would love to, if they write us letters, we would love to respond to them on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Keep them coming.
Yeah, so thanks, guys. And we hope that you have an awesomely spooky day.
Bye.
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 Stay spooky, everyone.